Self-expression. That's all any of this is. But my God. My God. I would like to offer some compassion to masculine energy. All masculine energy. I want to give it some love, some respect, some props for facing fear, because that's what it's doing right now. And that fear is very present. It is incredibly present. And I wish to acknowledge it within myself. This is my experience, but it's also perfectly in line with what's happening within the collective. In particular, the soulmate cycle, ascension. There's a tremendous amount of unknown, of uncertainty, of change taking place, sudden change, that we know, well, we can't go back from. It's change. It's transition. It is the opening of a box. It is stepping into the unknown. It's inviting the unknown in. And as that happens, I am witnessing within myself terror, sheer terror, anxiety, panic. The mind just, you step into a void, into this void space, into this introduction of completely unknown, unpredictable, and yet, of course, the mind, being what it is, wants to predict. That's what it tries to do. And then to just see the mind take off like a bat out of hell, trying to run the simulations. It just does it. It takes off, splits 50 different directions, traveling down all of these different imaginary timelines, projected scenarios, this, that, and whatever, trying to find some kind of information there, trying to gather data where there is none to gather, because none of that exists. None of that is real. None of that is happening. It's all projected, imaginary, illusion, trying to reach into the future, a place that it cannot see because it isn't real. Oh, and the way it just twists and turns on itself. And it's all because it's so afraid. Because it's afraid, because it's conditioned to be uncomfortable with uncertainty. It believes certainty is safety. That's the way the mind functions. If it can't see directly all the way down this road, it determines that to be so scary, so dangerous, that it would almost rather not even travel down it, because it's so afraid. It says, just stay right here. We don't know what's over there, so just stay right here where it feels safe and comfortable, because this is what we know. We know this. We can account for this. We can control this. Therefore, this is secure. This is safe. And it would then keep us from even having life experience, from even living any of life, because it's terrified. Because it is absolutely, abjectly afraid. Because ultimately the mind is just the projection of the scared inner child, even. It is this imaginary protector. It feels small. It feels unstable. It feels constantly at threat. It's always trying to analyze this world of form, which is ever shifting. It is never the same thing. It is always in motion, always changing. And so the mind is constantly trying to gain a footing on a ground that is never stable. It's never going to happen. It is never going to find the safety and the certainty that it's looking for, because it thinks that's what it wants. It thinks that's what it needs. And all of this, an invitation from the universe, from the soul, to witness this, to see how it's not accomplishing anything. It's not doing anything. It's not serving anything. Nothing is happening here. It's just working itself into a tizzy. For no reason. For no good reason. Well, perhaps the good reason being that we have the chance to see it, to experience it, to witness it firsthand, and to see the insanity of it. But also to feel the fear and appreciate it for exactly what it is. Appreciate the experience of the mind, not reject it, but allow it. Because that's facing what is. What is? The fact is, there is fear here. The fact is, fear is present. There's no denying it. Denying it is just further insanity. That's a further misinformed attempt of the mind to generate the illusion of security and control. The idea, the feeling of safety for the ego, the mind-made self. So what do we do as the soul? What is the one thing we have? The one thing that we can do, that we can control? Acknowledgement. Witness. Acceptance. Looking it in the eye and saying, this is what is. What is unknown. What is undefined. What is uncertain. And also what is the presence of fear of that. Fear is present. Fear is here. Let me not run from fear. Let me not flee in terror from fear. I don't have to be afraid of fear. That's the power I have. That is the choice that I have. I can't destroy fear. Resistance just causes it to persist. So I accept it. I allow it. And that means inviting it in. And that means feeling the fear. Acutely. Intensely. Looking it in the eye and saying, yes, I see you. I feel you. I'm shaking. Feeling it in the body. Honoring the presence of this. Yes, this is what is. What is fear of the unknown. That's what we're walking into. Something absolutely undefined. And it does feel scary. It does. As scary as if you were staring down a lion. We're standing here facing the lion going, I don't know what's about to happen. I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens next. I certainly don't know what happens 5 minutes or 5 months or 5 years from now. I don't know any of that. I don't know what even happens in the next second. I don't know, and I can't know, and I can't control it. I'm feeling that fully. Oh, man. Standing face to face with fear and accepting it. This is what is. This is what is. What is I have no fucking clue. And I can't. The only way I can know it is by living it, is by allowing the experience to unfold. And that happens moment by moment. That happens in the now. That's the only place it happens. There's no projected unfolding. That's not a real place. I have to play it by ear. There is no other way. There's no way to prepare for this. There's no way to plan. There's no way to practice. It's live. We're doing it live. Fuck it. Because that's the only way life works. It happens live. It happens in real time. There is no preparing. There's only experiencing. There is only living it, being in the moment, totally exposed. Just there for it. All we can do is be there for it. Be present in it. Participate. Allow it. Watch it happen. Experience it directly as it is happening. And to the mind, that is terrifying. But what an invitation to surrender. To absolutely, more and more deeply, surrender control. Surrender control of not just long-term outcomes, but short-term ones. What happens in the next second? I don't know. I don't know. I have to surrender that. Surrendering any expectation or prediction of what might be even a moment from now. Just allowing it to be what it is. That is frightening. To the mind, that is frightening. Of course, to the soul, that's exciting. That's what it's all about. Of course. To the soul, this is the juice of it. This is the magic. The story unfolding. The not knowing. The surprising and delighting in turning the next corner and the next one and things happening and seeing, finding out what's there without any prior knowledge of it. To the soul, that is, well, that's what it's all about. But we can't deny the presence of the mind and what the mind is feeling. It is the soul speaking to the mind, just as the higher self is speaking to this self. And the higher self, as the soul, is never judging. The higher self is never saying you shouldn't feel fear. Don't be afraid. It's never saying that. It's saying, I understand. I understand. I get it. You can't see what's coming. I get that feels scary, and that's a part of the ride. That's a part of what we signed up for. That's a part of the thrill of this experience, is not knowing what's coming and letting it happen. And all we can do, all I can tell you is trust me, it's good. It's good. One way or another, it's good. I can't tell you more than that. I can't tell you more than that. But trust me, it's really good. You're gonna like it. And the brain, as the self here, goes, can you give me just something? But why is it good? But what? And the soul, the higher self, says, you don't actually want to know. That's not what you want to know. What you want to know is that it's good. You want just enough to surrender control. That's what you want. What you want is to learn how to surrender. What you want is to learn how to let go. I am teaching you that. I'm giving you the opportunity again and again, continuously, to do that, because that's where the power is. In the surrendering, in allowing, in throwing up your hands and saying, okay, I'm here for this ride. I'm here. I don't know where it's going, but I'm on the ride. There's no getting off now. So you can hold on tight. That's okay. That's okay. You can resist. You can hold on tight. You're allowed to do that. It's okay. Or you can take a deep breath and just put your hands in the air and lean in to what's happening in the moment. I don't know if anyone has ever ridden a roller coaster or another type of amusement park ride with your eyes closed. But let me tell you, as someone who has, it is far more terrifying than just having your eyes open. It is way scarier because you have no inkling of what's coming. And so as it's happening, you are just whipped this direction and that. But what happens is you learn to relax. You learn to become very present. You learn to just pay attention to what's happening right now, not trying to predict what the next turn is going to be, where you're going to be moved next, not that, but allowing. Your entire focus becomes on allowing what's happening right now and leaning into it. Not even, it's not an action, it's an allowance. You're just allowing yourself to be moved. A more relatable, perhaps, sort of explanation, and one I have experience with, is riding horseback. Another thing that takes attention. You're working in unison with the horse. You are moving with the horse as it's moving. And if you've ever done that with your eyes closed, again, the natural reaction, when the body can't see, it reacts the same way as when the mind can't see. It creates the same sensation. When the mind can't see into a projected future, it's exactly the same as if the body can't see. Your eyes are closed. What happens when you close your eyes and you're moving? Everything tenses up. That's the natural reaction. It can't see, it goes, whoa, stop moving. I don't know what's happening, so I better stop moving. And it takes practice and focus to have your eyes closed and allow yourself to relax. When you do so, you're tuning in deeply to the rest of the body, to your other senses. So when you're riding a horse, everything is moving, right? You're in this motion, you're constantly moving. The hips, it's all working with the flow of the horse, depending on the gait, right? So just walking is one thing. You're kind of doing a little bounce. That's fine. And you get used to the bounce. But then things start to speed up. And if you're not paying attention, you know you're going to fall off that horse. And it happens. And I have fallen off a horse riding with my eyes closed before, because this is how you learn trust. It's how you learn to ride with ease and agility and allowance. You have to tune in deeply. And you can't do that unless you first acknowledge the fear. You acknowledge the rigidity. You have to start with that experience of, oh my God, I don't know what's happening and this is terrifying. And all I want to do is open my eyes. But you don't. You keep them closed. You acknowledge the fear. You take a deep breath. You say, whatever happens is going to happen. I'm just going to be present. I'm going to stop thinking about what could happen. I'm going to stop thinking about outcomes, what it might feel like to fall off, to hit the ground, whatever it is. I'm going to stop thinking about any of that, because none of that is happening right now, and my thinking about it doesn't change it one way or the other. It doesn't change it. It's just imagined suffering. So none of that is relevant. Let me do the one thing that I can do, which is focus on this moment and being fully present within it and allowing it to unfold exactly as it is. That means listening. That means quieting. You can't talk and listen at the same time. You can't be speaking in the mind and listening. It has to be silent. But it starts to go silent when you start listening. You tune in. You breathe deeply. You feel into the body and you listen through the body. To the body and through the body. Through your senses, you engage every sense and you listen. You just receive directly the information. And then you're no longer judging what's happening. You're no longer judging the moment, resisting to it. You're no longer predicting anything. You're just allowing it to be as it is and allowing yourself to be moved and move with it, through it. And it takes continuous, concerted effort. Not effort, that's the wrong word. Focus, attention. It's a non-effort. It's a relaxation. It is the art of deliberate allowance, and it is what we as divine deliberate creators are here to master and to perfect through the continuous practice of it each and every moment. And we can't get it wrong. It is a continuous practice. We only ever get better at it. And now, right now, the energy is perfect for this. It's pushing us to this. Masculine energy specifically, which of course resides in all of us. So regardless of soulmate cycle, this, that, none of that matters. The masculine energy right now is being challenged with the opportunity to accept a fear of the unknown, to embrace it, to feel into it, and to just let things happen. And that takes tremendous courage. That takes tremendous bravery. It takes a lot of strength, just the meaning of that card, to walk into the unknown. And that's what it is to walk away from 8 broken cups also. I can't remember exactly what the last pre-shuffle was, but I remember distinctly the strength card underneath the 8 cups there in the pre-shuffle. And that is exactly it. That's perfectly it. I think I might pull a couple cards just for, this is self-expression, but which deck? Not this deck. The Rider-Waite. Just to see if there's anything the universe can help me express here further. Fear, the moon, the unknown. And a lot of things coming up, a lot of questions. Questions coming up, questions that don't have answers. Questions that can only be answered by direct experience, which means saying to the self, to the mind, I don't know. There is not an answer for that. I don't know. We're going to have to find out. We're going to have to just see. We're going to have to let it play out and see what it goes, how it goes, where it goes, what it is. And to the mind, that is, I mean, this is a way of being, the way of being, of mind first, mind focused, in control. The mind is being directly challenged with the inability to see what comes next. It can't happen. It's just, it's short-circuiting. It's mind-blowing, literally. To the mind, this is total destruction. It's absolute terror. Facing dramatic shifts out of nowhere that not only could we not predict, but we can't predict what happens next. We don't know where it goes now. The rest is unknown. And we gotta just deal with that. And there's the fear. There's the fear, which is what this is helping to uproot by exposing it, by inviting it, by triggering it, by inciting it. It's not a bad thing to feel fear. Fear itself is a sensation that when we push it away, again, like every feeling, like every emotional experience, whatever it is, like anything, if we resist it, it stays there. So how do we release fear? By letting it flow, by feeling it consciously, deliberately, on purpose. Oh, it's everything. Everything, everywhere, all at once. I have not seen that movie, but I've heard it's very good. Yeah, there's big changes afoot in general. And it's a calling to trust. To say, look, I know you want to see all the details. I know you want to see everything that's ahead. You think you do. The mind thinks that it does. It's not what you actually want. What you want is to surrender, is to trust that all of this, everything is unfolding perfectly for you. Just trust that it's unfolding the right way. It's all happening for you. You are taken care of. You are safe. You are secure. Even your feeling of fear and terror is not standing in the way of that. It's not evidence of anything going wrong. It's not evidence of anything to be afraid of. It's just resistance. And it's natural. And it's allowed. And it's here to serve you by your deliberately allowing the fear to be experienced, allowing it to be felt and sitting with it, holding your fear, holding its gaze, looking it in the eyes, feeling it rip through you. What does it feel like? Where in the body is it experienced? Do you feel a tightening of muscles, a quickening of the breath, the heart pounding? What do you feel? Tune into it and just feel it. Just feel it. And trust. That's dramatic change. Yeah. Let the current take you. Be brave. And just go with it. Just go with it. Just let it happen. What do you want to say to masculine energy right now? I just had a card play out. That's what I'm asking. I mean, what do you want to say right now? The universe knows what I mean by feeling. I am asking what it would tell myself and anyone experiencing this energy. Fear is not felt by the soul. Fear is only felt by the mind, by the ego, by the masculine, within the self. So what would you say? The first card that flipped out before I said anything else is the Hanged Man. Chill. Just be cool, man. Hang out. You're on this ride. You just let it happen. There's nowhere for you to go. There's nothing for you to do. Just chill. Just be cool. Let it happen. And there's the Knight of Wands come back. Yeah, what's fueling that this time? Be aware of defensiveness. Be aware of guardedness against change, because the change that's coming is really, really nice. It's fresh. It's new. It's working for you. Everything is working for you. It's okay to feel the fear. Just don't let the fear stop you from going to find out. Again, just be cool. Just let it happen. It's all happening. It's all gonna happen. So just let it. After the pre-shuffle, just come back. Moon. What are we chilling out in? What are we looking at and gaining a new perspective of, because of our willingness to witness it? And to witness it in pure awareness means to feel it. When you are feeling directly, you're not engaging it through the mind, you're engaging it through feeling. I mean, you're leaving the mind out of it. Pure consciousness. Consciousness just feels. It just experiences directly. It's aware. Just be aware. There's not anything to do. Just look at the fear. Just feel it. Yeah, it just came back. Same cards. Am I going to get all three? No. King of Cups. After the Tower. It feels like everything is falling apart. It feels like you're afraid to take a next step because the ground beneath you is shaking, is trembling. There is an earthquake. There's a tremor in the energy here. And we're not sure. There's a lot of feeling. There's a lot of feeling. And we don't know how to proceed. We don't know what to do with it. I'm going to pull one more. Yeah. 10 of Cups. The King of Cups is a very controlled energy. And it likes to control how much emotion is expressed. But this King of Cups just feels very uncertain. We're in new territory. We've kind of floated out to sea. He's lost the foot on land. We're in an uncharted place. Just kind of adrift. And it's easy to feel that there's a haziness around, like, this feels like fog to me. It's a 10 of Cups. I don't care what the card is. It's uncertainty. It's unclear. Is this real or is it not? There's a dream. There's a feeling. Is it real or is it not? We're afraid. Gotta just go find out. Go towards it and find out. That's the only way you know, is by going over there to see. Can you clarify this 10 of Cups for me, please? What else about the 10 of Cups? What else about the 10 of Cups? Oh, okay. Okie dokie. Yeah, it's in the wind. You gotta just go see. Wheel of Fortune. It's happening. It's unfolding. There's no way to know. Just trust. Just trust. Trust that when you get over there, there's gonna be something real. There's something there. What's on top? Yeah. What's with that? Page of Cups. The king in this approach gets smaller. It is the diminishment of ego, because the mind, being uncertain, lacks confidence. And the soul is just saying, go. See. It doesn't matter. In fact, this is a wonderful opportunity to allow ego to be diminished by allowing the fear, allowing the uncertainty, surrendering the outcome. This 8 of Pentacles. Whatever it is, it's something that can be built upon. Tell me about the 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, no distraction. There's no way to look away from it, this fear. Yeah. I just felt a little bit of that. Like, we're trying to find proof. something to grab onto. Something, again, that inkling of, well, but what happens? No, there's nothing. What happens is change. That's all the universe is saying, is you want to know the one thing that's certain? Everything changes. Form is unstable. It's continuously evolving. That's it. That's all I can tell you. You're going to have to just let that be what it is. Stop trying to cling to form, because it's constantly moving. It's always shifting. It's never going to be the same thing. So be open to it. Be receptive to it. Don't shut it down. Just because you don't have all the details, you don't have all the information, there's something here to work with. Whatever this is, whatever it turns into, there's something here that is solid, that is real, that is stable. And it's okay not to know how to go about it. One more. Yeah, just trust it. Just let it happen. Just follow the feeling. And that means tuning in each and every moment. Recognizing when the mind is trying to take you out of the now, project into some imagined future place that isn't real, that holds no information. There is nothing there, no data. If you want something real to grab onto, first of all, you're not going to find it there. The only place it is here. This is the only real. So be real, and be real right now. That's it. That is your one option. Be here, or pretend you're somewhere else and experience the discomfort and the resistance and the suffering of that, which accomplishes nothing except discomfort and tension. And then all of that really only ever pushes you back to releasing again into the now, to accepting what is at this moment. That is it. That is your option. Resist the unfolding or surrender to it. I think that's about it, honestly. I am going to pull on this, let's pull on the moon. Because the King of Cups is being forced to share, is being forced to spill emotion. We're in new emotional territory. We've never expressed these feelings. This is new, and it's scary for the king that usually is very in control. So, I mean, that makes sense. So tell me about the moon. Tell me more about the fears here. What else do you want to say? Anything else? I mean, I know it's fear of vulnerability. What else? Yeah, just fear of change in general. I mean, the Death card just came back. What's underneath? I tried to pull what was directly underneath, and it ripped me straight to the Six of Wands. There is almost a fear of success. There is almost that fear of happiness. Equally mixed in with the fear of failure is the fear of victory. And yes, absolutely open heart chakra. Exposed, emotional. But it is the, what happens if I do win? That is equally scary. That's equally an unknown. In fact, it's usually scarier for the mind, because the mind can kind of predict down the path, as much as it believes that it can, of failure. So this, doesn't happen, doesn't work, whatever. These are how I compensate for it. But what it really can't project into is what happens if it goes right? What happens if it works? That's even scarier. Because then if you allow for one thing to go right, you're predicting further down this impossible path of, well, if this goes right, then this other thing could now happen and go wrong. At what point could it go wrong? Now it's trying to find all of the possible intersections of right and wrong, and it also calls up the worthiness and all of that. What does it mean if it goes right? What changes for myself? It's easy to fail. It's easy to just not try at all, to not see. It's easy to just bow out. That's easy, and that feels safe to the mind. What's scary is succeeding. And that's where we got to ask ourselves, we got to step back into the soul and just recognize that we can't fail, that whatever happens is a success, that it all unfolds the way that it is best to, that is right to. Surrendering, again, the outcomes, the specifics, knowing we're rooted in the self, we're rooted in presence, we're rooted in the now. We always have this. No matter what happens, we can't have this taken away. This doesn't change. This doesn't go anywhere. The reality of the self, knowledge of the self, which is accessed through being very present in the now and is known directly. Knowledge of well-being, knowledge of worthiness, knowledge of love, knowledge of security and absolute infinite abundance. These things are known. They are absolute. They are true always, no matter what. So whatever happens, these things remain true. So we step into this place of the broader awareness, accepting that there is fear here, that there is unknown, but we have this knowledge to fall back on. And we carry this knowledge forward. This is our foundation. It is from here that we step forth into the world, into the unknown, bringing this with us, this truth of broader reality. There's the defensiveness, fear of vulnerability. Fear of liking something. What if I get what I want? It's scary. Yeah, what if I get it all? What if it all works out for me? That's what the fear is here. What if... Because that means, well, what does that mean? That means the small self that had an egoic identity attached to it, that identity, that unhappy identity, that felt safe with failure, that felt safe with diminishment, with hiding in the shadows, it means that identity dies, and that identity doesn't want to die. And so it's afraid. It perceives this as a threat. An identification with that self, which feels safe, just coasting along, never really trying, never asking, never receiving any of those things, just this even keel the whole time. That identity feels threatened by this change. If we try something and we succeed, then that identity has no ground to stand on anymore. And so it perceives a direct threat to itself. It's terrified. That is the part of self that says, no, 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 just stay still. Just stay in the shadows. Oh. And that is the self that we are holding the hand of as it transitions. Because it is itself facing a transition. It's facing a death. And it's afraid. It feels fear. Whew. That just hit me. Damn. It's that self that is afraid to die. It doesn't know what comes next. Your willingness to accept what comes next means this self, this mind-made self, this egoic identity, which was based on unwillingness to accept, and so staying small, not trying, not seeing, just staying hidden in the shadows, that self can't continue to exist. It is facing a death, and so it itself feels afraid. And we're asked to witness it, to hold its hand, to be the death doula of this self, this small version, this unhappy version. And to honor its fear in the process of transition, to honor and accept that it is afraid of the unknown, that it doesn't know what comes next, and you are the one holding that knowledge that what comes next is good. The same way you would honor any death, accepting that it is not wrong to mourn the transition of form, the change of form, the diminishment of form. It's not wrong to feel that fear, feeling it with it, facing the unknown with it, saying to this ego self, I don't know. I don't know what comes next, but I know that it's good, and I know that what we are is eternal and well and secure, and all I can do is shine that knowledge, is hold that within my awareness as I am witnessing you, holding all of this space for both, for everything, and letting this happen. Witnessing the death of the egoic identity, the sense of self that felt secure in never receiving and never asking and just never trying. That's what's going away, because it's time to start receiving. It's time to start asking and recognizing and receiving that we are attractive, we are attracting, that we get what we want, that we get to ask for what we want and we receive it, that we get to win. And all of that means opening in a new way to the unknown. This is a card of Scorpio. It is Scorpio season. There is tremendous transition at great depths taking place right now. An overturning of energy, ancient energy deep within us, within the collective. This fearful mindset, this mindset that says stay small, stay hidden, don't try. Don't try because we know what happens when we fail. We don't know what happens when we win. And that's scary. It's time to let go of that self. It's time to face the fear, feel the fear. Not only do it anyway, but keep doing it moment by moment, opening to it, wider, deeper, allowing more of the unknown to be felt directly. That's intense. I just wanted to pull one more card, and it's the Three of Cups. It is celebration. Working in tandem with the universe, with the higher self, but it is primarily that open emotional flow, opening the valves all the way, feeling all of it. Just feeling, just letting it be the feeling journey. Just feel, moment to moment, every single moment, feel. Putting the mind down more and more. Every time it comes up, every time fear tries to rise into the mind, into the thinking, bringing it back into feeling, touching it directly, experiencing it, bringing it into the now. If we're going to fear now. We're going to feel it now. Whatever it is, we're feeling it now. Focusing on that, continuously bringing that back. That's powerful. Not shaking as much. This is what's in the energy. This is my self experiencing, expressing, as it is all of myself experiencing this simultaneously in every form, every variety of circumstance. It is all myself. And so I want to commend myself for the bravery and the courage it takes to face this, to face fear, to face death, to hold its hand, and to walk with it into the unknown. That is true strength. That is something to feel proud of. There is liberation. There is your glory. There is your eternal life. I have that passage, and I don't know it word for word, but the yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will be unharmed. That because I walk into it with faith, trust, surrender, open to the unknown each and every moment. Whew. Just grounding now, letting this flow through. Well, that is the expression, that is the message. Hats off to the bravery of masculine energy in each and every one. You are doing it. You are on the path. Keep walking. Just keep walking. You are not walking alone. Not for one moment. Thank you for your witness. Thank you for your resonance. If you're still here, this resonates. And I feel you. I see you. I feel your energy. Whoever is present in these, the energy is here as it is happening. It is real time. And there's a lot. I feel a lot. So thank you. In your witness, I am honored, and I, in turn, witness you. Well done. So may it be, and so it is. Have a blessed night.